All right, guys, I'm back here with another episode of What Happened. So we've got a Cummins engine that came in for warranty, and we're working on getting this guy back and up and going. But I wanted to show you why stuff fails, okay? There's a reason why everything fails. It doesn't just, like I say, it's not because it was built on a Monday or built on a Friday or anything like that. There's a reason for failure, and that's what the purpose of these videos are, to show you, because it's needless failures that could have totally been prevented. There's an old saying that says an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and that's totally true. And we know, we see this on this engine. So if you'll come in, I'll show you real quick. The failure ultimately for this engine ended up being that the valve had split. And if you look in the photo, you can actually see the valve is split, and it's because there was so much dirt that had got ingested on the backside of the valve that it acted as a insulator between the valve face and the valve seat. With that dirt, it couldn't transfer the heat, so the valve had to absorb all the heat, and then eventually it developed a crack. And when that crack developed, it was all over, low compression. But what led to that problem? Was it a bad valve? Was the angle cut wrong? If that's the case, okay, well then why weren't the others affected by it? There's a whole lot of questions. Well, the crime scene's bigger than just the valve, and we need to look at the entire crime scene. So if we'll come over here, when I'm looking at a failure like this, the first thing I'm doing is I'm kind of looking around the block, because thankfully it hasn't been washed. It tells a story. We can see how much dust and dirt is on the side of this block. Now this engine, I happen to know, is running in an extremely dusty environment because of the way that the truck's outfitted. It's part of a drilling operation, so it's constantly in the dirt. But we can see a ton of dust that's going on. If we look inside the cylinder right here, it looks like it's been shot blasted or sandblasted. The cylinder walls are no longer shining anymore. And the reason why that is because it has been sandblasted. All the dirt and dust that got ingested into the intake, because the intake was dirty, wound up getting past the filter and into the cylinders. And once it gets into the cylinders, it does away with the cross hatching now. And it dusts it. It does not allow for ring sealing. And then what we start seeing is higher amounts of blow-by, oil consumption, and eventually low compression. And all those things, they could have been avoided. So if you're going to be running in a really dusty environment like this gentleman is, or anybody for this matter, what you really need to do is pay attention to your maintenance. A lot of fleets they have guys that are doing their maintenance for them, but it can get overlooked. I see it quite often. I do encourage guys in this type of situations to run an oil filter. The only bad thing about an oil filter is, guys, they do catch more contamination going through the filter. They're better for filtering. They can cause problems because if you're going to try to resurface this, then you have to clean it out. There's cleaners. It's more maintenance. It's a lot harder to do. It's easier to just put another paper filter in it. And if you just change your paper filter out, you'd be fine. The oil filter is a better filter. You can recharge it, but you got to be careful on newer trucks not to have the mass airflow sensor get gummed up because of the amount of oil. If you use too much oil, it can cause you other problems. So it's important to do it per the manufacturer's specification on that. All these things are failures that it doesn't matter who builds this engine, guys. I don't care. It will not matter. It's all in the amount of maintenance that you're willing to do and keeping up with this. No engine's going to just eat dirt. It's going to die. Rings and components are not made to be sandblasted and be used. So hopefully this will make you go outside and it'll make you look at your air filter on your truck and make sure that it's clean. And if you need an air filter, check us out, chokeperformance.com. I'll put the link down below, and you can see all the air filters that we have that will fit your truck. It's a cheap insurance for a very expensive investment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.